How were these three caught in a grisly killing that took place in Colorado? In 1996 in Woodland Park, Colorado, hikers would discover a body. They would contact investigators, and the male had a sack wrapped around his head and it was taped at the neck. He had his wrists bound behind him and his legs were bound with a strap. He looked like he was badly beaten. Autopsy revealed skull fractures and blunt force trauma along with strangulation after the fact, so this was an overkill. Police identified him with a fingerprint found in the system as Derrick James. They learned he had a girlfriend and they went and interviewed her. Police went to Derrick's girlfriend Sheila Barnhart's house, but instead found her sister cleaning. Sheila's sister Stephanie had cleaning supplies all over and was wearing gloves. Detectives noticed from the front door blood spatter on the ceiling. Detectives were able to get probable cause to search the residence that had been cleaned. Then when they talked to Stephanie, she said that her sister Sheila had called her and that something bad had happened to Derrick, and she noticed a lot of blood on the couch, and so she cleaned it up. Police used luminol and it showed blood all over the couch in the living room area. It appeared the carpet was cleaned with bleach, but police lifted up the carpet and found more blood evidence. On the couch was a fuzzy material that matched the blanket material covering Derrick's body at the crime scene. Stephanie gave up her sister Sheila and said that she was at her house. Police went to her house and arrested Sheila. Sheila concocted a story to police that she had received a phone call from some unknown man saying that your punk boyfriend better pay up what's owed. She said when she was sleeping, she heard two men in the house arguing with Derrick and that there was a lot of noises and that Derrick was begging for help. She told police that the two men threatened to kill her, and so she didn't go to police. An anonymous woman would call police and say that her neighbor, identified as Brandon Barnhart, was packing because he had done something bad and had to leave. This Brandon individual happened to be Sheila's brother. Police would interview Sheila again, and she would admit that her boyfriend Derrick had been cheating on her and assaulted her, so she contacted her brother Brandon to beat him up. She said she poisoned muffins with lithium and crushed up sleeping pills. When Derrick fell asleep, she was told to go upstairs while Brandon and his friend Eric beat him up. She said she heard a bunch of noises but didn't know what had happened. Police would find Eric on warrants, and he would make an incriminating statement that I didn't know it was going to go that far. He said he went over to Derrick's place with Brandon and that Brandon took out a pipe and beat him with it. Brandon would turn himself into police later on and say that Derrick had been dating his sister and he knew Derrick from foster care. When he found out what Derrick had done, he beat him with a rhubarb pipe. I go into more detail on exactly what happened on my podcast released tomorrow, but that was how they were caught.